Hello, welcome to Tim Anderson Horse Training. Today I'm going to give you a tour of the barn, let you see where it's at as of right now. We've made a lot of progress since the last video that I put out, so we'll take a walk through the barn so you can take a look. So I got my boards done on the walls. I brought the side walls up about 4 feet and the dividing walls up about 6 feet. As you see, I put a strip going up and down to make them good and solid. I brought all the boards in nice and even. I think that came out pretty good. I'm eventually going to put a board across the top. I'll eventually put a board across the top right here, kind of at an angle. You'll see when we get to the other end, I have one installed like that. And right now I'm trying to get moved in as quick as I can, and that's not really critical to move in, so I figure I'll take care of that later. Okay, so these are our mats, our stall mats. They are permeable material. The urine will go through the mat. I don't know if you can see it's going through the mat, it's going away. And the idea is the urine will go through the mat. It will not make a big wet spot, so I only use the shavings where the horse urinates. It goes through the mat, and I pour pine sol or mix something like that over the wet spot to break down the ammonia, to break down the urine. So first time I've used anything like this. I've heard a lot of good responses from people that I have talked to that have them. And you see it's dark, but all the water is going through. So we'll see how it works. First time I've used them. They were not bad to install. They came folded. Basically, we just unfolded them. It took one or two to kind of get a good routine. We just unfolded them, and now the board's up around the edges to hold them in place. In the front, where we had concrete for the concrete slab, that one was a little bit of a project, but the rest of them weren't too bad where there's wood. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this folded over flat, and then I'm going to set my stall fronts on top of that. I think that's going to give me a better finished look. Plus I think that's going to help keep the horses from dragging their feet on that wood that's in the front, maybe make it last a little longer. So we'll go in a little bit further. I still haven't done anything on this side over here. This is where my tack room and bathroom, that kind of thing is going to be. I am going to start framing up my bathroom tomorrow. They're supposed to be delivering my lumber. I'll start framing it up tomorrow. That way we'll get a working bathroom here pretty soon. I have all my tools and stuff stored in my wash rack. It's basically done. This is all my electric fence materials. We're working on fence. I'll have you a tour of the property and the fence here pretty soon. Here's another stall. And I install these lights up in the top. It's a light that looks like a recessed can, but it mounts to a regular box. They are 13 watts a piece, and I'm lighting my whole barn for about 520 watts. So I'm really happy with that. The electricity use should be fairly low, and I'm getting good light out of them. So I'm waiting for my stall fronts to come in. They should be in hopefully next week, maybe the end of this week. They put us off a week. They're supposed to already been here. This is the lumber for the stall fronts. I have to put lumber in those. I'm excited to get those in. Pretty much I just need to put my fronts on, put shavings in, and hang my buckets, and the stalls are just about ready to go. There's more stalls over here. They all look just alike. On each end of the barn, I'll point the camera up. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it or not. On each end of the barn, I have an exhaust fan, and there's one at the other end. and they have a controller that works with a thermostat and a speed control. Here's that board at the angle I was talking about. I think it finishes off the wood nice. So I'm going to eventually take that board, put a board like that up all the way around on these low walls. So anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, the fans. We have one in each end. They're on a thermostat with a speed control. When they're on high, they replace all the air in the barn every 6 minutes. So it has been actually fairly pleasant here working inside. This insulation up on the roof has made a huge improvement, a huge help as far as it being a reasonable temperature in here. And it's not like it's air conditioned, but it's not bad. It's a whole lot more comfortable than it is outside. So we get down here. I put this up temporarily as a controller for my fans. I'm gonna do something more permanent. It's actually gonna be a wall all the way across here. But that's the controller for the fans. That gray wire sticking out the top is actually a thermometer that has that red end on it. That's actually a temperature sensor thermometer, and the top knob is a speed control. That's the low end, the low speed setting, and then the bottom knob is the thermometer. So you set that, right now it's set on 80 degrees. When the temperature gets up to 80 degrees, the fan will kick up to high. If it's below 80 degrees, it'll run at this speed that I have it set at, which is 40%. Which means that didn't have an off. So all the way up here, I don't know if you can see, that silver box up there is a thermostat that I set a low temperature switch at 70 degrees. So what'll happen at 70 degrees, the fan will kick on low, and then at 80 degrees, it'll go up to high. So we'll see how that works. Pretty happy with it so far. Hasn't got good and hot yet though. So that's where we're at with the barn. I'll be coming with a tour for you once I get the fronts on. Once I get the fronts, it's practically going to be ready to use. And I'll have a tour of the pasture for you here pretty soon. We just about have all the fence and electric wire and electric tape up. So thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notifications of future videos that come out. Thank you for watching.